Hey there, Johnny May here, and welcome to this week's quick tip where I'm going to teach you how to create a beautiful piano improvisation using only one scale, your major scale. Now, a lot of piano students, when they want to improvise at the piano, they think that in order to create interesting lines, they need to learn lots of different scales, but that couldn't be further from the truth. You see, when I was improvising at the beginning of this video, I was just using one scale, the major scale. So how did I create an improvisation like that? Well, you need to understand the three essential improv techniques that I like to use and many professional piano players like to use when they're improvising with the major scale, and that's exactly what I'm going to teach you in today's quick tip. So let's go ahead and dive into the lesson here, and the first step is to just make sure you can play the basic major scale. So if you already know your major scales, you can skip ahead, but a quick review on your major scales. For this quick tip today, we're going to be playing in the key of F. Okay, really nice. So the scale that you're going to use is the F major scale. So go ahead and play this with me. We're going to start with the thumb on F. We're going to go two finger on G, third finger on A, fourth finger on B flat, thumb on C, index finger on D, and middle finger on E. Okay, that is your F major scale. It's basically all white notes except we have a B flat in the scale. So make sure you can play that scale and you have the correct fingering. Okay, once you have the scale down, let's play some chords in the left hand that will make the scale sound beautiful. And one of my favorite progressions to play is this 2-chord progression. Doesn't that sound gorgeous? And they're actually incredibly simple chords to play. Okay, so here's the first chord. Go ahead and play this here. We have C, F, G, and A, okay? This chord is called an F add 2. It's basically like an F major chord, except we're adding a G to the chord, and the G is the second note from the F major scale. So we call it an F or F major add 2. Okay, and we're just going to play a little inversion on this chord like this. Okay, that's the first chord. Second chord you're going to want to know is called a C7 sus4, and all you do is you take that A and you move it up to B flat, and you get this beautiful chord. Okay, real quick, I want to explain how you come up with this chord. A C7 sus4 is basically a C major chord. We add the B flat to make this a C7 chord, and then you take that third and you move it up to an F. And this creates a C sus chord, or a C7 sus4. Okay? So these are the two chords to know: F add 2, C7 sus4. We're just moving that top note up and down to each of these two chords. Now, before we move on and I teach you how to improvise, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Okay, so what do we do with these chords? Well, basically, we're gonna lay down a little 4 on the floor groove where we play each chord twice. Gonna kind of lay into this, and this is gonna be our foundation for the right hand as we're improvising. Okay, really nice 4 on the floor groove. In fact, you can practice this with the included backing track. Let's go ahead and play it with the backing track, and then we will talk about how to improvise over it. Okay, this is one of the backing tracks. This lesson does come with 3 backing tracks. This is the middle tempo. Here it is. 2, and here we go. Really laying nicely into these chords, okay? It's that nice foundation. In a minute, we're going to talk about what to do over this. Okay. Really important chord progression to know. All right, let's move along here, and I want to show you how to improvise over these chords. The first technique I love to use is to take my scale and do what's called block shifting. Okay, block shifting. And a block shift is basically where you take a block of notes and you shift them to different areas of the piano. Okay, so here's a really simple example. I can take the first 4 notes of the F major scale and shift them up the scale. See what we're doing here? Go ahead and play this with me. We're going to come up the full scale, and we are blocking each of these 4 notes, meaning we're playing them together and we're shifting them up and down the piano. Okay, so you're going to want to practice this, get nice and comfortable shifting to each of these areas. Okay, once you have done this, you can start to play some little patterns on each of these notes. And in the lesson sheet music, which you're seeing here, this is a very simple pattern, but for this pattern, we're just going to walk up the notes, and then we shift to the next position, and then the next position. Pretty simple, okay? Isn't that beautiful? And so what we're doing is we're creating some nice little patterns that we can use over this position. Now, you could go double time. You could go like this. Kind of want to create some nice energy. But the real goal for you here is to create some different patterns using block shifting, okay? So here's another pattern. I can come down on it. You see all the colors we're getting? By starting on different notes of the scale, we really pull out some different notes from the scale that have kind of different sounds to them. And so this is going to be kind of step number one for you, is come up with some different patterns that you can use in each of these positions. Here's another one you could use. You could start on the second note from the top, and you can come down, up. Let's try it. And then we're going to go to the next position. See what's happening? So again, these are just very simple patterns that you can practice, and it will help make your improvisation sound a little bit more interesting. Okay, so this is the first exercise, and once you've gone through the exercise, let's go ahead and play with the backing tracks. By the way, these backing tracks are downloadable at pianowithjonny.com. You can also download and print the lesson sheet music you're seeing up here on the top left of the screen, so I'll put a link to those in the description below. Okay, let's play this with the backing track. I'm going to improvise and show you what you can do with these patterns. Here we go. 2, and here we go. See the patterns? Lots of patterns you can do. You can go up on patterns. Come down on patterns. Okay, lots of really nice things you can do. All right, before I teach you the next technique, if you're enjoying this quick tip, I do want to mention a really good course that can help you a lot with your improv. It's called our Contemporary Progressions and Improv course. It's over at pianowithjonny.com, and I'll put a link to it below. Okay, the next technique I love to use is the triad skip technique. Isn't that gorgeous? So basically what I'm doing here is I'm taking my F major scale that we talked about earlier, and I'm finding triads that are part of the scale. A triad is a 3-note chord. Okay, so if we start on G, skip a note, play the A, skip a note, play the C, that's a triad built on the first note of the scale. So you can do this on each note from the scale. If I did this on the G, I end up with a G minor triad. If I do it on the A, I have an A minor triad. A B flat, I have a B flat major, C major, D minor, and this is called E diminished. They're basically all chords that come from the F major scale. Or another way of thinking of it is you start on one note from the scale and you skip every other note of the scale, and you end up with a triad, okay? So what you can do is you can actually play these triads over this chord progression. And I put together this little exercise to practice this idea, okay? So here's how it goes. We're gonna start on the F, come up the triad, and then we're gonna go to G, come up the triad, and then the A, and then the B flat, and then the C, and the D. Are you hearing all those colors? Okay, it's really nice when you start to put it with the chords in the left hand. Now you can go double time on this, or go twice the speed. The key here is that you get comfortable seeing all of these chords that belong to the major scale. Once you're able to do that, you can do different combinations on these notes. For example, I could start on the top, come down to the middle note. Or I could do some other pattern. All kinds of cool ways to create nice little lines using the triad skip method. All right, let's play this with the backing track. I'll show you how I might improvise using triad skipping, and then I'll teach you the third technique that I love to use. Okay, here it is. 2, and here we go. Did a little triad skip on the C. Came down on the B flat there. Isn't that a beautiful sound? You can come down kind of fast. You can go up somewhat fast. Just make sure you're landing your lines. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, it's time to learn the third technique, one of my favorite techniques. This is called the turn. Isn't that a gorgeous sound? So what is the turn and how do we use it in a progression like this? Well, a turn is basically when you take a note from the scale, like F, and you turn off of that note, okay? So you grab the note, you come up, back to the note, underneath the note, and back to the note. That's a standard turn. You can do this on any note from the scale. So you can do it on the G, you can do it on the A, B flat, C, D, and the E. Okay. Now, when you're working on your turns, I do recommend that you use your index finger as you're jumping around. You certainly could use the other fingers, but if you're just getting started with this, the 2 is a very strong finger and it kind of sets you up for each turn. Now, for this exercise to practice your turns is you're going to start on the F. We're going to turn on the F. And then G, A. And then we're going to turn on the G. And then A, B flat. And the same thing, we're going to go A. And then B flat. And then C. And then D. And then E. Does that make sense? And then F. All right, let's play this exercise with the backing track. We're gonna do this at the faster backing track. I mentioned this quick tip comes with 3 different backing tracks, so we'll do it with the faster one, and then I'll show you how to improvise with this. 2, and here we go. Doesn't that sound great? Okay, let's talk about how to improvise using this turn technique. The basic idea is you can turn on any note. You just want to leave little gaps in between your lines. Okay, so here we go. This is with the backing track with the turn technique. 2, here we go. Just turned on the A there. You can turn on any note you want. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this quick tip, be sure to check out pianowithjonny.com. We have over 900 step-by-step lessons for all playing levels, plus we offer live learning events for our students. So go check out Piano with Jonny, and I'll see you in the next one.